Welcome to the Peoria Art Guild, and we have a wonderful exhibit in a new project space that we're calling our Project Gallery, and it's with Dr. Clarke, and it's Eyes of Fire. And Dr. Clarke is part of the emergency response team for Central Illinois, where he goes and responds to crisis situations such as fires. In this case, due to September 11th, we decided that we would do a series of his portraits of local firemen from throughout. Well, they're all Peoria,
Yes,
aren't they, sir?
yes,
They're all
they are.
Peoria. So why don't you explain a little bit how you got involved with doing this first?
Well, I mean, basically, I've been involved with fire departments ever since I came to Peoria. When I was in California, I was the medical director of the Pasadena Fire Department, and in Delaware, I was the medical director for EMS. So I've always had an affinity for the fire department, as well as photography, which is my main thing. So actually, when I came here, I happened to meet Tony Artis, who's now the chief, and that was back in 2004. And I asked him, I said, I'd like to ride with the fire department just to take some pictures and just be sort of fly on the wall. And ever since 2004, I've been part of them. I'm sort of a honorary member. I have my turnout gear and camera ready for I basically respond to like structure fires. And there are times where I will stay at the station and then wait for a EMS
Or a call of some sort.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And it helps that you're a doctor too, I'm sure. Well, what we're starting with is a series of portraits that you've done of individuals, and each one of these is individual. As I said, I said it's black and white photography, but I love the highlight of the green straps here, and we have one other that has some. Now, these are all taken in situ, aren't they? They're in the situation.
Yes.
They're not posed.
No,
they're very spontaneous.
They are candid.
Portraits.
Which is always the best, because what I always try to do is take pictures not like a standard portrait.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are the guys coming out of a structure fire, coming out of EMS call or something like that. Because the main thing is to get the expression. The eyes tell the story.
Well, and I am always so interested in the equipment and the gear that they wear. And each of these, obviously, it's not, like you said, it's not a stage portrait by any stretch of the imagination. But here they are, they're carrying the hoses, they're carrying their straps and other gear. This one in particular is a favorite of an awful lot of people. And here we have, I mean, it's just amazing the character that you captured in this man. And this is
Captain Nick Ellenwood, and he's with the Peoria Fire Department. And this was a structure fire or house fire, and he was captain on the scene. And this was towards the end, and he came out of the structure fire, giving commands to the other firemen and whatnot. Yeah.
It's wonderful. But then as we come into this part of the gallery space, we have a lot of them in situations. Here we have 3 of them helping get their gear on and everything. And this is one of my brother's favorite
yeah, you see,
it's just
with the air packs, if you stay still for more than several seconds, a alarm goes off. That's why you see them shaking like that. So the engineer, who's this gentleman right here, he's in charge of the hoses and making sure that they have the air packs.
Yeah. And you have pretty much total access, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, especially in this one here, where we literally see the beams that are charred clear down to almost ready to decay. I mean, it would collapse. I think, again, it's interesting to see the, whatever this instrument is.
I think it's called a pike pole, or I'm not
pike
sure.
pole, and then also them wearing the gas masks. You can, the air masks, the filters and everything. And especially during COVID, I think we're all very much aware of masks and things like that. But here we have a wonderful interaction between 2. Do you remember having taken this one?
Yes, this was actually taken a little bit after the other one. This is one of the newer firefighters, Tony Orwig, and he was coming out. See, on the fire department, you have one engine, you have the engineer who drives the truck, you have the captain who sits in the seat, and then you have the firefighter in the back. So they're actually the only 3 people per engine. unlike people say, my gosh, you know,
Yeah.
there are 4 or 5, no, it's.
Like Chicago Fire, where
Right.
it's always a huge number
Right.
of firemen.
It- 3 per truck, a captain, an engineer, and a firefighter.
Now, did you take any photography classes?
No, this is all fly-by-night, learn by yourself kind of thing.
Well, your sense of design is incredible, and this one, I believe, is an award winner.
Yes.
And the amount of emotion and the amount of just sheer desperation, actually, is just incredible in this black and white photo. Do you want to explain a little bit about its provenance?
Again, this was actually the same fire. Most of these, I think, were the same fire. Usually when I go to a fire, I take thousands of shots and then just edit them down. But this firefighter just came out of a building which had a lot of asbestos and a lot of debris, and it was hot. It was very hot. So he basically came in, and what they do is take off their mask and get some water put on and whatnot, and just try to.
I mean, it is truly a monumental portrait, in my mind. It just is, it's unbelievable. Here we have another situation where one is assisting the other one.
Captain,
And again,
firefighter.
the sense of design and the composition is so great. We have both these firemen that look like they actually are very intimate. I mean, it's like you're there feeling what they're having to do.
It's like the police department. It's a brotherhood,
Mhm.
and they always look out after each other.
Now you have 2 books here
Yes.
that have been published, and this is one of the color. Is this the cover of the book?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the cover of the book. And do you remember where this one was
Yes.
taken? I love the smoke and the background. And
That was taken at the Peoria Fire Academy off of Galena Road, right? And this firefighter, this engineer was instructing some new recruits. And they have a huge building, which they light on fire, and the recruits have to go in, put out the fire, go up the ladder, bring the hose, which is hundreds of pounds. And he was just waiting for the next recruit. I specifically like the fact that there was a smoke coming out. And one thing that I've learned when my wife and I had the opportunity to work with Sports Illustrated, about 15 years ago, always get the eyes. The eyes tell the story. One picture should tell a whole story.
And these do, it's just amazing. And it's interesting because my brother and I, when we were starting to lay this out and everything, that we actually could identify each one of them by their helmet and with their name on it. And so you become even more invested in the image when you actually know that this person's name. I think that really is just unbelievable. This one too, this is, he's using the.
Right, he's the captain. See, if you notice that they all have microphones. So when they go in the building, they can talk to the captain or the engineer or the chief and discuss exactly what's going on.
Our books are for sale here.
Yes.
And as are all of the video, the prints. The one I do want to talk to in length is really this large print that you have.
One of my favorites.
My brother and I. Steerage. It's his monumental piece, and it's so much. It identifies so much with the things that make them strong photographs. The design, first of all, the way that you've got it laid out. But all of these wonderful lines, they literally carry you up into the stairwell and then down into the basement. There's so much that's happening. Can you give us a little story about this one?
This was, there's a building, it's Kiwanis, or I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but it's at the corner of Knoxville, right before you get on the freeway.
Yeah, the former family house.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
hospitals, yeah.
So that was on fire, that was last year, I believe, and as you know, it's an old building. So at this point, the firefighters were going in, so I believe it started in the kitchen, I think. So again, you have the chief, that's the chief, and the captain's there, looking to see what else has to be done. Thank goodness, no one was hurt, and the building was actually saved, but they were really concerned about the the structure
Yeah.
itself.
And it still is, they didn't
It-
condemn it, it's
No,
still
it
there.
is, it's
and
still there, yeah.
I think though artistically, what's so amazing, and it's just like with steerage and Stieglitz, you've got these wonderful lines that are just hanging, literally,
Yeah, yeah, hanging
in
on,
space,
yeah.
and here, even here, and it creates so much geometry and so much depth to the work, it's really quite amazing. These are the two books that are available here. The exhibit is going to be up through the 26th of September, and we are open from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, and then Jeff and I will be here on weekends from 9 until 2. So I hope that people can enjoy it. I think
On
once they-
Saturday,
on
on-
Saturday. People come to see it, that they will be so moved, because these are such strong images, and it's such great work that you're doing.
I wanna
And
thank you
we-
too.
We
because-
really have, this is exactly what we thought the project space should have, is a project such as that has not just artistic meaning, but also emotional attachment to our first responders in particular.
They do a excellent job, and it's my way of promoting them, supporting them, and let the people of Peoria see these are your first responders.
They're our heroes.
They are.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay.